Today we're going to talk about how expensive it is to own one of these cars. One of the questions I get asked most is, how expensive is it to maintain it? Honestly, it's not that expensive. There's a lot of Volkswagen and Audi parts that cross over, so as far as general maintenance, it's not that expensive. Case in point, my wife has an F85 X5M, and it costs more for me to replace 8 spark plugs and coils in that car than it did to replace all 10 in this. As far as I know, the big ticket items are going to be the clutch, the power steering unit, and the AC. I've heard the clutch cost is anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. Now, I've heard the 04s used to go through clutches about every 5,000 miles, but I know they make some upgrades to prolong the life. There's other things you can do to prolong the life, and the later models are supposed to have a lot better mileage on those. Now, certain things you can do if you're considering an E-gear and you want to prolong the life of the clutch. Never run it in automatic mode. Always put it in neutral when you're at stoplights or stop signs. Or you can do what I did, and I just went and got a gated manual. Now, you will pay a premium on that, but you're essentially just going to pay the difference between what it would cost you to replace the clutch. Because typically the cost difference between an E-gear and the equivalent gated is going to be about $15,000 or so. So I would say if you're getting an E-gear, maybe factor into about $15,000 to $20,000 into a maintenance budget. Other than that though, everything else is basic maintenance. It's not any more expensive than any other car. The only way you're going to run into higher maintenance is trying to find somebody who will actually do the work. Anybody who will do the work is probably going to charge you the Lambo tax. The good thing is these cars are extremely easy to work on. They're actually one of the easier ones I've had to work on. So if you're mechanically inclined at all, you can do all the maintenance on this car. One other piece of preventative maintenance you can do is remove the front differential. This is supposed to give the car better handling capabilities anyways. I haven't personally done it because this one's a twin turbo and I really prefer to have the all-wheel drive. But with how the steering's kind of heavy, I could definitely see where turning it to rear-wheel drive would make it a lot better driving experience. I think as long as you have a $15,000 to $20,000 set aside though, you do your due diligence, you get a PPI on whatever car you're looking at, you're probably gonna be fine. I would stay away from the 04s. The reason I say that isn't because they're necessarily gonna be bad cars, but there were some upgrades in 05 and 06 that are gonna make the car more reliable and just a better driving experience. Regardless of what you go with, do not let the maintenance scare you away. Sure, there are some really expensive pieces on this car, but for the most part, a car is a car. An engine's an engine, everything works the same. So don't let these intimidate you. If you're mechanically inclined at all, you can work on these just as easy, maybe even easier, than you can on a lot of other cars. I had an 8th generation Civic Si at one point, and I much prefer to work on this one than I ever did on that one. Anyways, I hope that helps.